command of the masses. Mayegun don come, Mayegun diary political. Mayegun don come, this one not dey off in mind. Mayegun don come, person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud. Mayegun don come. My people make you shout. Mayegun don come. Mayegun don command of the masses. Mayegun don come. Mayegun diary political. Mayegun don come. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Gbogbo ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary.
Read the caption of the broadcast, digest it, share it, and sit back, relax, and enjoy this.
Diary political. Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣẹ́ o kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Share the broadcast.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
The man on your screen, right there, is the publisher, the editor-in-chief of Herald newspaper, based in Kaduna. And if you have been reading about, if you have been following the terrorist activities up north, you realize that many of the first-hand reporters most times are these northern publishers. They have access to most of these terror gangs and their activities, and they interview them on a very regular basis. But look at this man on your screen. His name is Tukur Mamu. Tukur Mamu is the negotiator for the Boko Haram terrorists that kidnapped the Kaduna-Abuja train passengers on the 28th of March 2022. Is the one, or let me say, is the lead negotiator for Boko Haram. And through him alone, over 20 victims were able to regain their freedom after paying the ransom. I'm talking about 100 million naira per victim. So that should be a good thing. Well, hang on. I'll come back to the lapses part, okay? But that should be a good thing, right? However, yesterday, himself, his 2 wives, his 2 children were arrested in Cairo, Egypt. On their way, according to him, on his way, or let me say on their way to Saudi Arabia. But the story that the Nigeria DSS gave is different from his. Now that you know who that person is, right? Now, the Nigeria Intelligence, they call them National Intelligence Agency, NIA. They are like junior brothers to DSS in notoriety. Or let me say they are senior brother, I don't know, whichever. Or they are like a Siemens twins. NIA comprises of the intelligence officers, national intelligence officers like your CIA in America or MI6 in the UK. I don't know what I'm talking about and if they are actually like the same. What I'm saying is that they have they have access to all information pertaining to security in Nigeria. They are like people who can make you disappear. Okay, that they can wipe you off, every data of you, everything about you can be, you know what I mean? Now, these are the guys who were chasing Tukur, Mamu. According to them, they were looking for him, and he got wind that the NIA were looking for him, that he was escaping from Nigeria. From what the other intel sources also shared, they said they had to arrest him because at some point, it felt like it was about to be set up. They said it felt like it was about to be set up. Therefore, he just packed his family to run away from Nigeria. Okay, he abandoned the negotiation. He said he's no longer involved. But on the other hand, they said as the negotiator, he's made a lot of money for himself. Okay, and because of this, there has been some report that, in fact, he's taking a cut for himself in the negotiation where over 160 people were kidnapped and over 1.4 billion naira have been paid to these terrorists, including the ones paid by Boko Haram's government, the families of the victims. So they now felt like the guy is kind of, according to the guy, he felt like they want to set him up in order probably to arrest him or jail him or kill him. He was running away, but he said no. So when they got to the airport, he was gone. It was like they were too late. But he had a stopover in Cairo. So before he got to Cairo, they got to see his travel plan from the immigration there. So they called the Interpol, get that guy for us. So they held him for like 24 hours yesterday. Then they sent him back to Nigeria because of the Boko Haram terrorism industry that is now thriving in northern Nigeria since APC, Egbekegbe, came in. But there is somebody who also kind of felt like, how could you do that? This man. Many of you have been calling that, why is it that Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is still walking about? Knowing the fact that when mass kidnappings are carried out in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria, by the Boko Haram, by the Fulani terrorists, somehow Sheikh Gumi gets to know their locations all over northern Nigeria, from Kaduna to Niger, from Niger to Katsina. It's been everywhere, including Abuja. Abuja that is now surrounded by these deadly terrorists as well. So you have been asking, why is it that nobody questioned him, nobody arrested him, Well, we have answered that in the past. Sheikh Gumi is kind of enraged. Like, why would you arrest a negotiator? Why? He's not the one that did any kidnapping. He was just trying to help in securing the victims, securing the release of the victims. But ladies and gentlemen, like I have said many times, and like many of you also know, as many of you know, terrorism in Nigeria is now a big industry. Even Northerners themselves, they have now confessed to it. Many of them that initially thought it was a good thing that they have the jihadists who are trying to cleanse the land of infidels until they figured out that the terrorists, as we can see, it's not about the religion only to them. They are a bunch of criminals who are just what? Bloody terrorists as they are. Now, being pampered in Nigeria, and they now look around, they found out that they have been the ones with so many dead bodies piling up. And who should they cry to now? They figured out that, well, probably scammed or played, wherever it is. Now they realize that they are in soup because Northerners are now selling their properties. Not just now, they have been. Many of them can no longer farm anymore for a long time. A lot of them are selling their properties, everything they have, just to pay ransom to terrorists shouting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So, one of the things that APC, Egbekegbe, promised when they were coming was that they were going to announce the sponsor of Boko Haram in Nigeria. But we did warn you that there is no way you are going to ask Boko Haram to investigate Boko Haram, just like asking Boko Haram to investigate Boko Haram. When Sheikh Gumi, or put it this way, when this terror that enveloped Nigeria today, that they have now made you, or kind of trying to make you get used to, right? It became, I mean, the conspiracy, not just the conspiracy, the collusion and everything else you've known, right? And when Sheikh Gumi now came into the picture, everything now makes sense. I will revisit some of them. We know that those who are sponsoring the Boko Haram terrorists, they are the prominent religious and political leaders from northern Nigeria. Yes. Now, when the Fulani terrorists, armed terrorists, entered Nigeria and started slaughtering and kidnapping and then a robbery and all that stuff that they are doing, we also know they are backers too. Sure you get. So when they compromised the security system, we also announced that too. Now, people were asking, how come Nigeria's budget on insecurity continue to increase and the money continue to go into the private pocket of those who are starching their uniforms and they call themselves service chiefs and the rest of that, why terrorists are making a kill in Nigeria? How come they couldn't locate them? Why is it so difficult for the government to know that, oh, this is where they are, and we are just going to do a coordinated sweep? A very, very easy and possible thing to do for a government that said they want to keep you safe. But is what? It is Bobo. Now, why are they so invincible? They are everywhere. 19 states in northern Nigeria, including the Middle Belt, there is nowhere that these terrorists don't have their camp. The survivors, the victims, including the military who have been killed and the survivors of their attacks, they know their locations. But we have also received reports many times when they had the chance of clamping on them, right? Or, there is always a call or call from above for them to retreat. We have received that on several occasions. Okay. Now, we have also witnessed where the same Nigeria opened extra shop called Operation Safe Corridor, where they were paying billions and billions and billions of your money to terrorists. And all of these are going to where? Going into buying arms. But the Nigerian military couldn't locate them. The Nigerian NIA couldn't locate the terrorists and their victims. Weeks, months, even years, undetected. But there are northern journalists who have access. Though maybe we can't really say very easy access to them, but they have access to them. Okay? To the core heart of the location of all these terrorists, including their victims too. They interviewed them, but even leave the journalists. Let's say those ones are just like reporting, or maybe not fully or reporting. Then Sheikh, Islamic leader, and some other journalists or publishers who have now seen an opportunity to not just make name for themselves, but make money for themselves. That is what the business is all about today. So, rather than report the locations of terrorists to the authority that can then use the billions and trillions of weapons they bought with your money, sweep them, those they have arrested, summarily prosecute them, sentence them to death, or sentence them to life in prison, whatever you want to do with them. Yeah, Nigeria has that money. But the purpose is not to use that money to stop the terrorism. It is to make money from that terrorism. And the longer it lasted, the richer they are. So, rather than really use those information, they turn themselves to negotiators. Because I don't know what is the percentage of negotiators in Nigeria kidnapping industry. Police did help negotiate. If you are kidnapped or your family member is kidnapped, if you call the police will tell you to wait for the call of the kidnappers. Now, when the kidnapper calls and make demand, police will help you to process the ransom. Yes, that is the state of Nigeria. Do you now think all of that comes for free? So, but Sheikh Gumi made the revelation. Gumi said, there is no single meeting he had with the terrorists that the Nigerian government, the northern state governors, the Nigerian military, the Nigeria DSS, the Nigeria police are not aware of. In fact, whenever Gumi made contact with the terrorists and they have made an appointment, the northern governors, they will give Gumi money. They will give him police. They will give him, logistic like vehicles. They will give him everything he needed, including any 5-star, 4-star hotel in the nearby city to the forest Gumi is going to visit. So when Gumi came out, Gumi said, the terrorists are fighting a just cause. They are just doing businesses. What are they doing that is wrong? They are just kidnapping women and children, and they are collecting money on it. Is that what you are going to call terrorism? Why can't Nigeria give them what they want? Okay, what do the terrorists want that made them to kill at will and kidnap you? Just like when you go for hunting, you go into the forest and you are hunting, and you can just capture as many animals as your energy can take you. That's what Nigerians are, like game in a reserve. Nigeria has become a game reserve. Nigerians are the games inside there, where terrorists just go out and they capture. You can capture 100, you can capture 200, you can capture 500, and the people will come to you with money. So what do they want? They said they wanted to send their children to school. Meanwhile, when the terrorists were interviewed, what do you do with the money you collect? We spend it on their weapons. The Nigerian borders remain porous in northern part of Nigeria till tomorrow. There is nothing that says Nigerian government increased border patrol or border security to cut the supply of terrorists into Nigeria, to and fro, and then deal and mop up those ones who are in Nigeria. Rather than do that, Nigeria is telling you that Niger Republic and so many other African countries where you have Fulanis, they are Nigerians. So this guy said they want to set him up. But Nigeria is saying, no, we are picking him up because he is in fact a terrorist enabler who has been making more money from this bloody business. Okay. What happened to those that they have claimed that they arrested in the past? Those in prison have been broken out of prison. Abi? Those ones that have not been in prison, well, I mean, in Borno State alone, the state governor is proud to tell everyone that over 32,000 repentant terrorists have now surrendered in Borno State. They are now being fed. Guess who were those terrorists? They were terrorists who kidnapped school children. 10 years, I mean, what do you call it? Kidnapped school children 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and all this while, they have been kidnapping women, children for the past 10 years, right? Now there is no money to feed them. They have to come back, and Nigeria is taking up the bill, right? I just thought you should know when you are, well, maybe you do know when you are being played or when you are not. Because in northern Nigeria, they are not seeing these terrorists as terrorists. In fact, they see your reactions to all these killings, all this madness. They see your reactions as Southerners. They see them as an attack, like an hate towards the North. Like you are using all these things as an excuse to show your hatred for them. So if you want to condemn the killings and you want to do this or that, then you are indirectly attacking northern Nigeria. But guess what? The money that they are using to fund this terrorism is coming from southern Nigeria, majority of it. The economy of northern Nigeria, the economy of southern Nigeria have completely been destroyed by the activities of these terrorists. Nigeria is buying weapons. The same weapons are being carted away by the same terrorists. But there is nowhere in any court there is no court in Nigeria right now that is prosecuting any of these terrorists for all these crimes. None. Zilch. So if you react that way, what you are doing is that, well, you are indirectly saying that northern Nigeria is dragging us down, because you see, the money that could go into funding education, funding infrastructure, going into paying for the people that gives you the essential services like your doctors, healthcare, public service system, transportation, including internal security. All this money that could go into that are being pumped into the bogus fight against terror. You are fighting against terror and you are pardoning terrorists. None of them is being prosecuted for these crimes. The border remains open and all of that. So that is it. Now in northern Nigeria, like I said, as they don't see, not all of them see them as terrorists. So to say, okay, and if you call them terrorists, these fanatics believe that you are calling the entire northern Nigeria terrorists, that therefore they are terrorists. There's nothing you can do about it. So they back them. Just 2 days ago or thereabouts, they said Katsina terrorist, Katsina bandits, they arrested a thief that was stealing railings. You know, those bridge railings, those metals. I mean, those irons on your bridge railings like that, yeah? you know, and then the manhole cover. You see those manhole, all those covers for manhole, and there people are stealing scrap metal thieves. Guess who arrested one in Boko State after killing almost 7 policemen in that same Katsina State in the last 4 weeks alone? They arrested a thief, and guess what happened? They took the thief to the police. I'm not kidding. Watch, check this. I think there is a picture and there's an image. This one. So they caught the guy. The guy stole this iron bender, the iron scrap by all these scrap sellers. See, those are the terrorists in Katsina State bandit or bandit of the Kaduna State. Katsina State branch. They arrested a thief stealing that, and they took him to the police. Now, I was wondering, like, they would just go there and they would just be like, hey, Sonu da Aiki, Abi Sonu da Oku. We are bandits from Katsina. And when we're doing our surveillance, we discovered that one guy who is not one of us is committing a crime against you. So we arrested him here. And they just gave him over. And then the police would just be like, Rankadede, Sarankadede, Alhamdulillah. What else they will say again? Abi, what would the Nigeria police say with the terrorists who now captured a thief? That is the situation we have found ourselves. No wonder, Miyetiala, that is also involved in the terrorism happening in Nigeria today. They are the spokesperson for the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria, Miyetiala. They are so powerful that garbage shehu, the presidency, Boko Haram's megaphone, garbage shehu said, Miyetiala is the same as Afenifere. Miyetiala is the same as Ohaneze, Ndigbo. Miyetiala is the same as, what do they call these people from Niger Delta? Umpadek, no be Umpadek. They have a name for, why did I forget them? Something there, Pusha. These are socio-political groups. No, not socio-political. Socio-ethnical political groups who actually represent some major ethnic groups in Nigeria. So who does Miyetiala represent? They are representing cow, they say cow owners or something, right? And the Fulani terrorists. Now, Miyetiala, as Afenifere of Fulani, or Aneze Ndigbo of Fulani, Miyetiala now have the audacity to say, to give security in Nigeria, especially in southern Nigeria, they can help the people of southern Nigeria to feel safe by providing security for them. I hope you heard that, Abi. Miyetiala. It's like Afenifere saying we need to go and provide security for the people of Borno, the people of Northeast, Northwest, and North Central with our soldiers. That's exactly what we have. So we have terrorists, we have terrorist sponsor, we have terrorist, our representatives. Then we have terrorist, what do they call them? Negotiators. They are the middlemen. If any of your family member is kidnapped, if you are looking for somebody to help you speak to the terrorist, At the higher level, you speak to this guy because they deal in hundreds of millions of naira, and all this money are moving in that same Nigeria, and not even a single sponsor of this terrorism has been brought to book. Why would they bring anybody to book when they are the ones in government? So, if bandits are helping them to arrest thieves in northern Nigeria, in Katsina State, the same terrorists can just kill the police anytime they wanted and all that. That is exactly what they are proposing to us in southern Nigeria as well. Ask me, or should I ask you, have you heard from any of those who wanted to take the scrap from Boko Haram in 2023, tell you or explain to you how they are going to get rid of this terrorist in a practicable way, right? Have you ever heard of any of them? Aha, because none of them has any way they're going to get rid of them. So imagine you enter Lagos, and from Lagos to Ibadan, you just see the terrorists with their guns, and they are like, oh, yeah, we are doing stop and search. Some of you will say it is not possible. No, what will first happen is what is already happening, right? You have lost your security to armed terrorists that could strike anytime in Yoruba land, in Biafra land, in Ijo land and Niger Delta, all these areas. They are everywhere. And anytime they want, they will strike. Yes, that's what they do. That's what is happening now. Now, how we are handling that is beyond saying, no, it will never happen. Because at the end of the day, what you end up with is what your politicians have always done. Propose a truce, ask you to comply, get used to it, just like them in northern Nigeria. And rather than help, they will then turn to the negotiators to open shop on you until probably when you will say enough. If you would ever say one, if you ever say enough, ever. It's easier this way if we understand that, somehow, Nigeria itself has been restructured in a way that we can easily call for a national convo, a national conversation, okay, where everybody knows their border ends. They can hold those territories in a way that somebody like me will probably not have to really worry so much that when children in Yoruba land are going to bed hungry, I use children because they are the most forgotten. When you talk about those mostly affected by the economic destruction brought about by the APC, Egbekegbe, who promised to end this terrorism, economic sabotage, but rather they expanded it. So the effect of that is when the Boko Haram's government, right, continue to take the money, the scarce resources that could provide food for the children in Yoruba land, that could provide education for children in Yoruba land, that could provide security for those who really want to work. I'm talking about our own farmers, those who really want to invest in what we know how to do best, growing our own food in Yoruba land. The resources that could go into all of that are being scraped by Nigeria to fund the war that they don't have a plan to win. And everything pointed to that. So when I see things like this, right, and when I see actors involved in the extension of the war, and if I want you to understand the effect of that war, is exactly what I just gave you just now. When they build your budget, I've told you, Nigeria that is under siege, coming from the terrorism attack that has attacked every fabric of Nigeria, the effect of that is what you have today: the increased poverty, increased crime, increased hunger, inflation, and many, many other things that are currently bedeviling Nigeria. But there are victims of them. And when you now look at those who brought this upon you, and you realize that in every of their move, they have no plan in bringing this to an end, right? It breaks heart, and it's better we make you understand that. Now, in Nigeria, yeah, every resources of the land belong to the central government of Nigeria. And because of this, to fund this fraud, to fund it, then they have to what? They have to create an imbalance, an inequality as the ingredient of it. Now, put it this way. The resources of Nigeria on the land and then below the ground belong to the federal government of Nigeria, which means every penny that comes from them belongs to them as well, because it's going to be shared according to their own choosing. Now, what did they do? Nigeria is at war, has been at war for the past 10 years now, okay? And trillions of your money has gone down the drain in the fight against it. And in the process, yeah, rather than for it to abate, it has become, something else, right? Now, what does this come to? It simply means when they take every resources from everywhere, let's use money. When they get every penny from everywhere, they pull it together, right? Then they bring out this knife of sharing. They call it sharing formula, right? In that sharing formula, because the government of Nigeria that promised to keep all of us safe from those who are planning to hurt us or to harm us, Abi, because of this responsibility, they have to take the chunk, the largest share of the pie. Where does this largest share goes to? It goes into funding security, funding and boosting the economy, supposedly, Abi, or building or investing in infrastructure that cut across the length and breadth of the country. But that's not what they do, right? Now, they then have to go and write a bigger budget that 1/3 of it, nearly half of that budget, will go into security. But you know it. The security situation in Nigeria, as they pump more money into it, the more it becomes, escalated, so to say, Abi. But there is a reason for that, right? When they put 1/3 of your budget into fighting or providing security for you, okay, then they have to scrap all that from money that should go into funding child education or the children education, adult education, investment in youth development, investment in infrastructures that could create jobs, job creations, and the rest of them, right? So you have nothing left for those. Now, here is the saddest part of it, right? If those investments, when you invest in security, it is because nothing grows, nothing moves in any environment where you have insecurity. Okay, if you don't have security, you can't work. If you don't have security, you can't grow any economy. If you don't have any security, you can't do absolute nothing. You will be struggling through it, and it will be so easy to tell without security. Therefore, if government invests in security, you as a citizen, that they are investing that your money into that should at the end of the day see return on your investment, which means you should see improvement in that security, Abi, whereby there should be, when there is improvement in security, there will be improvement in the economy. Nigeria economy is mostly on agriculture, if we have to. And then when you say agriculture, then you go to trade as well. What you really have to trade with, what you are capable of trading with, is crop production and all that stuff, right? But because of the insecurity, yeah, many farmers have been killed by these terrorists in the last 12 years alone. Okay, so which means many people have been chased out of farm. Now, a recent example of this is, in order to curb the food insecurity in Nigeria, to curb the food inflation, the hunger, the starvation, that is, in fact, hitting deep into Nigerians today, right? In order to curb it, the Nigerian government, in partnership with African Development Bank, they put together resources in total of almost 2 trillion naira that they were going to, they called it an anchor borrower program. It was meant for to encourage people to go back to farming and grow food. Okay, that if people could go back to farm and grow food, right, and they stop importation of food, that would production, right, will help increase food in Nigeria, and in that regard, reduce cost of living in Nigeria. They invested 2 trillion naira. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, the rise they later displayed in Abuja, guess how much the return is from that investment? Less than 300 billion naira. Nigerian government lost nearly 1.7 trillion naira in trying to encourage people to go back to farm and grow food. Right? Do you know why? Because these terrorists have taken over most of the most of the communities that grow food in northern Nigeria. Guess who are the owners of all these communities that really grow food in northern Nigeria? They are mostly Hausas and other ethnic nationalities from northern Nigeria, not majorly Fulanis. I'm not saying Fulanis are not growing their food, though, but it is on record. Their Fulanis are nomadic. They are always what? Always moving, Abi. Therefore, the real locals, in fact, what is really causing real war in northern Nigeria, the escalated killings in northern Nigeria that has now, come to public, is between the Fulanis and Hausas. Guess those who are being killed most, who claim they are being killed by the Fulanis? The Hausas. So they are those who are supposed to be growing food. Majority of them, they have run away from their communities. They couldn't grow any food. Yes, this is a fact. And guess who are those chasing them off the farm? The Fulani terrorists. So if you don't believe those who have invested their money privately in trying to grow food in Nigeria to reduce the food cost in Nigeria, the government of Nigeria invested nearly 2 trillion naira. They lost almost 70% of that investment. It is public. It is in public domain. You can go and verify. The reason for that is this: terrorists have taken over most of those communities. Just about 3 days ago, there's a news that said that they kidnapped worshippers at a mosque in Zungu community in a local government in Zamfara. They were kidnapped by terrorists and they were moved to a farm and they were turned to free farm workers. 44 of them, they are still in the captivity. They didn't demand ransom from their families. They just put them on the farm to be working as farmers. For terrorists, guess what? Most of those farms are now controlled by terrorists as well. Those ones not controlled by them, destroyed by them completely. The farmers who were once the owners, killed and slaughtered. Nigeria knows that. And all of these didn't bring back the investment in trying to revive the economy through agriculture. The terrorists, they destroyed it. The investment in security, they destroyed it because of the compromise of those who are making those investments, the Nigeria government. So the outbreak there is that we know the terrorists, we know their sponsor, we know their backers, we know their sympathizers. All these names are known. But the effect of all their actions, they are continually prompt people like us to continue to speak out and say, listen, you can never be promising a greater future for the people of Nigeria, which Yoruba people are part of right now. The children of Yoruba land, the children of Nigeria, you can't be promising them something that is, technically, or let me say practically impossible, because there's a different thing that is going on. There's a different picture they are painting to you. And if you then finally, get played and you look back and you're like, I thought they said they would do it. No. They won't. As a Yoruba man, right? I am watching from far how the Nigeria system is destroying lives of young people, stealing that same future. You see, stealing away their dreams and replacing those dreams with the mirage. I mean, what do you call it? With the mirage called tomorrow that the politicians are promising them. I am watching from far. I am watching from far how Nigeria is using the resources that could keep these youngsters educated. I'm talking about real education, real investment in it. And they are plundering that same resources on terrorists that are deliberately being pampered. So if I am worried, you should be worried too. I mean, you should. Because they have just announced, they said they are going to borrow 11 trillion naira for 2023 budget. Now, let me give you another instance of how this whole thing is affecting everyone. And whether you belong to A or belong to B or belong to C, I have figured out that none of the consequences of what these actions of these people, none of their consequences is limited to those who are promoting or propagating them alone, including you that doesn't like them for one reason, for one bit. Nobody is spared. Everyone is a victim of all these horrible choices. And I've said it many times. I said, if they ask us what is the solution, it is one thing that you've never tried. And that thing is that let everybody go their separate ways. We have criminals everywhere. Before these Fulani terrorists, before this Boko Haram, we have had armed robbers. And we grew up knowing the conspiracy of the security men, the security agents in collaboration with the same criminals. But we have never, ever dreamt of a day where we have to sacrifice the future of our own children to fight a proxy war. A proxy war, a war that those in government of Nigeria ignited when they were in opposition. And the same war that they have now expanded to the rest of the country right now that they are in government. How do I know that? Please show me one single terrorist right now that is standing trial for any of the atrocities that if you go on social media, I mean, if you go on Google right now, and search the terrorism act in Nigeria or dateline of all the terrorist attacks in Nigeria, okay, and begin to read. If you have time, just spend just another 10-15 minutes and you will be bombarded with more than 500 attacks in